Okay.
Hello, Kristen.
Hello, Laura.
We've got Real Housewives of Orange County, Part 3.
Mm-hmm.
It was
The
a lot
final part of the reunion.
I feel like we really have been seeing this through from day one.
Yeah,
I
a
wanna
great
say
season
It was
overall.
a good season.
It
Our
was
girl
so
Shannon
good.
was MVP. Let's just
Amazing,
give her-
Shannon.
Let's give her a round of applause. 'Cause
Amazing.
goddamn.
I went from liking Shannon to loving Shannon. I love her now.
If I had
I
to
really do.
look at Alexis Bellino, Jesus Jones, the
You know,
whole
there's a
time.
rumor she got fired.
What? Listen, you can't tell me that it was just magical that all of a sudden we were going to bring Alexis Bellino back because everybody was just dying to see Alexis Bellino. Oh, and also she's the new girlfriend of Johnny J. You think that just happened out of the blue? She was coming anyway. No. And now guess what? They used you and they're throwing you out, Alexis. Bye-bye. I don't know that is true, but I would hope.
Right.
I would hope.
Right.
You're a TV star, as Shannon said. But it's a job.
She's been on TV for 15 years.
Exactly. Anyway, we got a round of applause for Shannon.
Yeah.
And this episode was, this final episode was a lot of yelling and.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, Shannon through this reunion has handled herself so incredibly well.
You have to sit there and she's like, everyone
to face Alexis and all of the defense she had to put to give. I thought she was great. She was just great.
And then it was the whole thing like, how was I defaming him? And I thought this was interesting. When Alexis said that somebody came over and did forensic accounting or something, and that you did not pay for everything. That's how she was defaming him, by saying she paid for everything in their relationship.
Right.
And he spent $350,000 in the relationship.
Yeah.
What are you spending? Did you buy her a Rolls Royce?
Like, yeah, I know.
Right, $75,000 that you're asking for back, but what did you spend $350,000 on?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Did you go on a freaking 2-month vacation to the safari? Like,
I don't know.
To the savannah? Like, where in God's name did you go?
I don't know.
That's a lot to spend on a relationship.
And then I got confused. They said something about another $40,000 was lent to her to pay her bills. I think this was aside from
John was said when Shannon couldn't get her bills, couldn't make her bills, she came to me and asked for money. But I don't even know if I was just like, you know what? I've heard enough of this.
No,
the
me
backwards
too.
and the forwards. But I did think it was funny.
Yeah.
When she said he didn't know what Ferragamo was before he met me, and Alexis said, "Well, he brought you a $10,000 necklace." And Shannon's like, "No, he didn't. He didn't." And then she turns to whoever's next to her. I forget who was sitting next to her.
Gina.
She turns to Gina and says, "Yeah, he got me a shitty necklace." Like, it was just funny. Like, "Hey, you got me some shitty necklace."
Yeah, right.
$10,000.
Right.
So I just think there were some funny lines. I mean, it was a lot of crosstalk. It was a lot of back and forth.
It was a little hard to follow all the rambling that Alexis was giving. I was like, what are you talking about? And it was like a petulant child who couldn't get her way. And she just kept
down the road
yelling and banging her hands.
We don't have to hammer it out line for line because we've already hammered it out all season.
Yeah, we have. Alexis failed this reunion. She failed the whole season, but the nail in her coffin was this reunion. She was horrendous.
She was horrible.
Even Andy had to quiet her down. I mean, she was talking over everybody.
This and that. And then she was like, "Oh, yeah, but she's like, Andy, you have to quiet them down because now it's 3-on-1. And she was like, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And she was like, "What? You don't?" And Emily was like, "You don't call me dumb. You're the dumbest fucking girl I ever met." Oh my God.
That was
like, you
best.
are so funny. I'm like,
and also when she said every trash can has a lid, and John Jansen found
or when they were walking backstage when they took their break and they were outside and they're like, "Oh, is that Emily's like, "Oh, is that Alexis? Is she in that dumpster back here? She should be in that dumpster." And Shannon, what was she doing? Basically, was a lot of the if we talk about it in a blanket term, like what was she doing that was so bad? She wasn't defaming John.
No, she wasn't
doing anything
because she said she paid for things in the beginning of the relationship,
and it was all about that. She knew that the facelift was a loan, and then he sends the promissory note after, and she was like, "You can't do it after the fact.
You can't
like, we do that. We would all be sending promissory notes out." Like, I don't know. It was just
Alexis saying, "You're lying. You're lying." What is Shannon lying about?
I don't know.
She couldn't even explain it. She's so dumb. She's just so stupid.
She's still
so even though she has a college degree,
She's like, I know, and Gina's like,
And
I know a lot of dumb people that have college degrees.
anybody can get a degree.
A lot of dumb. And Shannon like starting to get emotional, and she's like, I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And that's what I would have thought
Oh
too.
my
Like,
God. Crazy
because
town.
watching John come on and say all these things, like,
it didn't land.
I
Whatever
know.
John was trying to say in his confessional when he got to speak more, nothing came through. I don't think anybody is on this guy's side or Alexis's side at
And
all.
also, I
No.
thought that this was when Shannon said, look, somebody said John wanted that non-disparagement agreement in
Right.
there. And she was like, and when Shannon said, which I thought was just made sense, she was like, there was no conversation about a loan when we broke up.
Right.
Like, he would have been like, oh, and remember that outstanding money you owe me, when they broke up or whatever. And Shannon said John never asked her to pay either loan amount, whatever
Right.
that other 40, whatever was. He never asked for it.
Right.
So I understand why Shannon would be like, well, he's not asking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to, you're mad at someone. You're not going to be like, oh, well, hold on. Let me just write you a check for $150,000.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
What a douche this guy is.
And then there was a lot of conversation about the videos used as extortion.
Yeah.
And John said, oh, this was interesting, though. This is when Shannon got upset again, too, when she was like, John said the intent was for no one to ever see them.
Mhm.
And the only person he would ever show those videos to was Shannon Bedore.
Mhm.
She's painting me out to be a monster on the show.
Mhm.
If she wants to see what a monster looks like, I'll show her the videos. So, okay, we get it. Now you're disparaging Shannon, though.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're telling her she's a monster. And
Right.
apparently, you know, you're saying she hit her. She hit you.
She hit John. Yeah. So I know. But that was when Shannon was
when
really getting like
yeah,
wound up.
Gina
He
and
was
Shannon
grabbing
holding
Gina's
hands, they were
hand.
showing-
Yeah,
yeah.
it was hard to watch.
And
it was
like-
hard for Shannon to watch.
and then
hear.
Alexis like, I won't
Yeah.
apologize for defending my man.
Okay.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah, but the thing I
Too much
remember,
screaming.
I think Katie was saying before this final reunion, she's like, "Oh, Alexis does come with receipts." There really weren't receipts.
There was
I don't know.
nothing.
There
It
was
was her
nothing.
babbling, talking half-ass, and
Yeah,
trying to
even
be
what John had to say, it was stupid.
I don't know. And then I love when Shannon goes, well, it's time for the friend to exit the room. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. And then
That was
Emily
good.
says the line about, I just want to say in summary that every trash can has a lid. It looks like John Jansen found his love.
Mm-hmm.
Go, Emily.
What I liked too was when Emily was like kind of saying to the side to Tamra, like, "How could you be friends with this woman?
I
Like,
know.
how in the world could you be
and
friends
agreed.
with this
I
woman?"
would say that too. I would not be friends if I saw
could be friends with
somebody.
her?
If I saw somebody treating you or somebody that I wasn't really
Oh.
friends with the way, I would be like, I never want to be that friend because next
Oh.
it's going to be me.
Yeah, of course.
You know, she's just, if I'm friends with her, she's just going to turn on me.
No. Yeah.
And you know what I thought was interesting through the whole thing too? I watched
Mhm.
the whole thing before we kind of wrap this up because
Yeah.
it was kind of more of just
it was a little bit of a headache just to listen to
same
Alexis
stuff.
the whole
But
time.
Heather, uncharacteristically quiet during the
She
during the whole
was.
thing.
Well, she likes Alexis.
when they were talking about the mean girl behavior.
Yeah,
Emily
yeah.
doesn't understand how
Yeah.
she had a problem with everyone being so complicit.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Everybody just letting this bad behavior just go by, and Heather being numero uno in that category.
Yeah, exactly. But Heather, I think, feels obligated to be friends with Alexis because they're
of the whole
children and the
LGBT.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, she's helped her through it apparently.
She's helped her through it. Like, she can't turn her back on her. But yeah,
then
she
was
was
Shan-
very, you're right. Heather really didn't say much at all.
Uncharacteristically quiet.
She was.
Because she was kind of cowering in the corner like, I
Yeah.
let the mean girl behavior go. Yeah, I'm kind of playing both sides here.
And I did think too that Emily did make a good point to Jen, like saying, you don't subscribe to mean girl behavior, meaning Tamra, but you're going to be friends with that, meaning Alexis.
Yeah, right. Like,
So
why
I
would you-
kind of saw where Emily was coming from with that. And it was the one point with Jen that I was kind of like, how are you friends with Alexis?
Yeah,
How is Katie friends
exactly.
with Alexis? It didn't put them in the best.
Right. And she's like, well,
light.
she's been good to
Even though I
me.
love both of them.
Yeah, no,
Jen and-
I'm not a Katie fan, but I do like
Jen and
I
Katie.
like Jen.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
then Shannon and Tamra hug, and she misses
we
her.
knew that was going to happen.
But Tamra is a sociopath.
Tamra always does that.
Tamra is a sociopath because
Yeah, she-
she's 1 minute,
She knows the fans hate her right
3
now.
months ago, she's going, "You're a drunk and a liar."
Yeah.
You're this. In
Yeah.
her lowest moments, and now she's like, "I miss us. I love you.
I love
like,
you. I
she-
really missed you.
She is. When you talk about two-faced, there is two faces. and
For
it's named
sure.
Tamra and Tamra the devil.
Well, I think it was good of Shannon to just say, "Can I just give you a hug? Let's just end this on a good note." But I really, really hope Shannon doesn't become friends with Tamara again. I don't think she will. I think she was just
I
saying,
think
like,
they'll just
let's
keep
just
it.
have peace,
Let's just keep it in a
coexist
good way, and when we see each other,
on a
let's
good
have
note.
fun and do
Yeah.
this. But I will say at the end, so the 36 hours later, when it ends, the
Yeah.
finale party night comes up, right, and the accident comes up, and
Yeah.
John said, "Oh, I heard the crash."
Yeah.
And Shannon said, "I went numb
Yeah.
when I heard it," because that was the whole thing. Like, did he hear it? Did he not?
Yeah.
How could he not hear it?
Right.
And
Mhm.
she basically said he went to go run
Mhm.
for Shannon,
Mhm.
and one of the daughters stopped him and said, "No, this is not good.
Yeah.
You're both mad at each other. You're in a bad way." She's apparently hit him,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
and I don't
And the
know.
daughter did run out, I guess, when Shannon did hit the house.
Yeah, like
So I don't know if that means she
she
almost hit
when
the
when
daughter.
right. She ran out to see if she was okay, and Shannon was speeding off, and I guess maybe she almost hit her.
Okay, okay.
So basically, I mean, that was the big
Mhm.
revelation that he did hear it.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
Shannon was great when she was like, "I feel the love. I really feel the love." And I
Yeah.
thought that was a nice button to put on it
Yes.
because she was like, "I really feel supported. This has been like the worst year of my life."
Right.
And
Right.
it was nice.
Right.
So
Right.
let's hope
Mm.
that we put that button on that and we never have to hear about Johnny J or Alexis Bellino ever again.
Go right off in the sunset. Enjoy your life.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy the wedding planning. As
Yes.
Andy
Have a
said,
wonderful wedding.
see ya, bye. See ya, bye.
Alexa's gone.
So,
Alexis. Okay.
why don't we just cover last night's because it's hot,
New York.
fresh off the press.
Yeah.
It doesn't deserve its own. I don't know. I mean, it's gotten a teensy bit better.
Yeah.
However, so let's move on to New York. Real Housewives, New York.
Okay. And the only thing I think that stood out from the one before it was that Brynn has frozen her eggs, and Gideon, who I liked, he was in the first season. He did agree to be the donor, and they're going to co-parent.
So funny.
It was such a sweet thing to see,
and
and
I like
happy
that
for
she had a
Brynn.
kid there. I like
Yeah.
that she had a kid.
That was
there.
smart. Yeah,
like
that
I
was
don't know
smart.
whose kid it was, but she was
It's like a
"What do you
friend's son.
think?" But you know,
Yeah.
but like
It
I
was
don't know
cute.
if it was something I would bring up. But you know what he reminded me of, Gideon? He reminded me of like a poor man's Hugh Grant.
There you go.
He was very
Yeah.
not a poor man, but just he's not Hugh Grant.
He's
so
not
just a
Hugh
poor man.
Grant. Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
he
you're right
was-
on that. They're on that order.
he was like silly and charming and kind of boyishly charming.
Yeah, and he's got stars in his eyes for Brynn. He's like crazy about her, it seems.
Why did they not? So why did they break up?
I think it was her. I think she's just doesn't want to get married. She's not ready for it. He wanted to marry her, and they were
But
engaged.
she was also kind of saying like, look, all the good guys are kind of gone now.
Yeah.
I'm 38 and I don't know. I should have stuck onto that guy who was doing the IPO done on Wall Street. And so it's not, but listen,
She's too much of a flirt, I think,
She is
to
a
be
flirt. Oh my
committed.
Jessica Rabbit. That's
Yeah,
all I can
she's
think of.
Jessica
She's
Rabbit,
Jessica
yeah.
Rabbit. She's
She's
always talking out of both sides. Like, yeah. And
Yeah.
then the other side and batting her eyelashes.
And Lincoln.
But I do want to mention also from last week's episode, the whole Pavette and Jassal talking to the therapist in Mexico City. I would have beaten.
So upset
I would
with
have
Pavitt.
beaten him with a pole the minute this guy sits down.
He's
Is he?
eating.
What is wrong with him? Does he have a tapeworm? Is there something wrong with him? All he sat down and said, "Let's have tacos. Let's have tacos." Does he just order DoorDash all day? Is that
All
what he
he's
does?
thinking about is food.
He's
this guy.
only thinking about food 24/7, but it's obnoxious and it's gross and it's
Yeah.
not cute
Yeah.
and it's not like, oh, he's a foodie. No, he's an obsessive weirdo who wants tacos before he's
Yeah.
going to talk to the
Well, you know what it's
therapist.
showing with the therapist too? He's not taking it
He doesn't care.
seriously.
And then he's
At
showing-
all.
At one point, then he has chips and salsa, and then another
Crunching
point,
away on his chips.
he's got a giant sandwich in his hand. Like what?
Where did that come
Where
from?
did, it just shows you like
even
they're
even
stopping.
the psychologist said, "Can you not bring food?" the
Well,
next
there's no continuity. It's like
No.
they're starting and stopping because he had to get up at some point and make himself a sandwich, or DoorDash showed up in the middle with a sandwich
Right,
from
right.
somewhere. Then he had the things, then he had the chips, and he was just like, "No in Spanish still means no."
Yep.
So I'm like, "Oh, Pop, it's a big dickweed.
Yeah, he really is. I'm feeling for Jessel. Oh my God.
So
So
on this week's episode, and it was all that Leaky Pigeon shit.
oh,
Prank,
I'm calling it the
prank.
prank fallout. It was just like it didn't land well. It
Stupid.
wasn't funny. The ladies all got offended. It looks like Erin was kind of being a little bit of a manipulator
But
in
they were
it.
like Erin,
I don't
of
know.
all people, to be the one to be putting people to the test. Like Brynn's like, of all these people,
Yeah.
Erin, who's the leakiest pigeon of them all, like
Yeah.
trying to find. And she's like, I
Yeah.
didn't need to be set up, not on a date, but I was set up about, you know.
Yeah.
But then this week was all about, did she know? Did she not know?
Yeah.
And Brynn saying, yes, I knew all about it. And Erin saying, no, you didn't.
Like, I didn't tell you.
I didn't tell you.
So
You
it
just
does seem confusing.
because she was just saying that when she said that she was pregnant, she didn't believe me. Brynn didn't buy it because she
Right.
knows how close Rebecca and her
Her husband are. Right.
But she was saying, but you didn't know that she wasn't pregnant or something. Like, it was so hard to even follow. And I love that Jenna was like, wait, I love that she's saying she wasn't in on it because of the little idiosyncrasy of that. Not
Yeah.
like she wasn't even explaining it like you were kind of in on it, but you weren't in on it based on this piece of information. And Jenna was like, what? Like,
Yeah. It
excuse me.
was hard to follow that whole
It was hard
thing.
to follow. And they're
Yeah.
all in the
Yeah.
But I thought Erin, she's like, of course I'm taking the brunt of it. And she's like, Rebecca, you're just down there sitting at the end of the table.
Yeah.
Not getting any of the,
Well, she was getting very upset. She was getting upset with Raquel because Raquel was questioning Erin.
Because
like,
she
why
said
did you
to her-
tell me
right.
beforehand? And then you said you didn't tell anybody,
Brynn.
but you told Brynn. And
Right.
why did you
She's
do
like, now
that?
I
And
don't
now I'm starting to
trust
question
her.
you.
Right. But it was so stupid because it's all contrived, made up shit.
Yeah.
And now they're arguing about contrived, made up shit.
Which is
It's
so
the
stupid.
stupidest thing. You guys have a platform. I get it. We should have some drama on the show, but let's talk about the drama of, I don't know, something that means something in the world, not
Yeah.
just this freaking stupidity.
Making up something out of thin air because you want to find out who a leaky pigeon is. I mean,
The leaky pigeon.
it seems like, yeah, they are kind of targeting Brynn a lot in this, but I don't know.
I don't know. It's and what was going on at this brunch? Because it looked they were kept axing out Brynn. Was she sucking on like a dick? It was like a banana lollipop. She also had a vagina lollipop. I'm
Oh,
like, I don't
God.
understand what this picnic was. Did they have just big dicks? Because it was.
What was
looked
the
like a
theme
dick
of it other
pop.
than the pigeons?
It looked like it was a dick lollipop. She was sucking on.
Oh God, I didn't. You
it
know
was-
what? I didn't even take notice of that. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it was the Ubah's pigeon picnic. Yeah. And
I've had enough with this
you know
pigeon
what
stuff.
I'm really enjoying
Mhm.
actually right now
Mhm.
is Sai.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
enjoying
not getting
Sai.
into the fold too much and like causing
And she's pretty.
evilness.
She's very fashionable.
Yeah.
She's pretty. She's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I just like that Sai said, like, as much as I love Erin, she's like, this was a total fumble.
Yes, total.
And I was like, yep,
Mhm.
absolutely right.
No, she called it. It's true. Yeah, she's not getting her hands dirty too much,
Yeah,
but
no,
she's still good in the show and for the show. I do definitely like her better this season.
And Brynn is just basically saying, I don't need to be tested.
Yeah.
Thanks, but I don't need to be tested. The Leaky Pigeons was just clickbait. That's
Yes.
what it was.
And I didn't know, that we're going to show that, Erin's father who passes away.
No, that was
I didn't
great.
know I know her mother has health issues. I didn't know that her father was dealing with
he
these
had
health
something that
issues.
was interesting.
Yeah.
So I thought this was actually a really good part of the show.
Yeah.
So the whole thing. If we backtrack to, she's friends with the chief, the editor-in-chief of Glamour,
Right.
is her friend,
Right.
And of course, Jenna knows that too, and is saying that, and she's also talking about, and that was also brought for a nice moment between Jenna
Yeah.
and Erin,
Mhm.
because she basically says, look, I'm going to talk about abortion. And she was saying, the editor-in-chief of Glamour was like, you can't believe that no one talks about it, because it really was a dirty little secret.
It's
If you
like a
have something-
shame thing. People carry
if you
shame.
had an abortion, it's not something you're going to talk about other than maybe with your close friends.
Right.
But then I thought it
It's
was
personal.
right that I thought it was nice that Jenna said, look, it happened to me too, and I had an abortion too. Like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
Right. It's
I've-
coming out of the wood. There's so
Right.
many people out there who have gone
and I
through
thought
this.
that was a really nice moment
Yes.
between them.
Yeah.
And then we move to actually where she sits down for
Yeah.
this interview
Yeah.
and talks about it. And I thought that was, I liked this. I liked this whole
So did I.
bit.
Yeah.
And then the
Mhm.
fact that now she has to sit down
Mhm.
and tell her father,
Who she never told.
who she never told and
Right.
who was so sweet about it.
Yes. Unwavering support.
And he opens up and says, I got someone pregnant.
And she had an
She
abortion.
had an abortion and
And
she
she
hated
she
me.
hated him.
Right. Like, isn't that unbelievable? So when you kind of open yourself up and she's thinking, God, I'm going to be so vulnerable. I'm going to be, open to
Yeah.
all this backlash. All of a sudden, now she's having this wonderful one-on-one with her father. And as we know, he dies 4 months after this conversation. So what a
Right.
nice moment for them to have had,
Yes.
knowing that he's not here anymore.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't look well to me, actually, during that little
No,
sit
he
down.
didn't. Even in prior episodes, he didn't look so well. So yeah, you could see there was something. I guess maybe he had cancer too. I don't know what it was.
It was something with his liver.
Okay.
So,
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
liver is the biggest organ in your body, and
Yeah.
it takes care of a lot of things.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
I don't know, but he didn't. He looked like he did. Not that he didn't look good. He looked like he didn't feel well.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
kind of looked uncomfortable.
He
Like,
did.
and she's like, Dad, no, seriously, you look good. No, seriously, you look good. And he was like,
Yeah. Mm,
So I
a little
thought that was a
weak.
really great. And then this whole,
And she got so emotional and teary, and
yeah,
yeah,
no,
you
it
really
was.
felt for her.
No, and we should. And the fact, and not that we're getting political here, but the fact
Yeah.
that we do not have this choice
Yeah.
anymore. The fact that young women do not, because they're saying, I was faced with a choice, but thank God I had the choice to make,
Yeah, right. Right,
And
right.
now
Mhm.
certain people in certain states,
In
certain
certain states.
women do not have the choice. It's
Right.
really unconscionable that we
Mhm.
are here.
Mhm.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is
Well, I
unbelievable.
think that and that was the reason why she wanted to do the interview because of the fallout of
Right.
Roe v.
And
Wade, right?
I
Yeah.
thought that was really great.
Right.
And then we had, of course, our friend Ubah
Oh, and
going
her
to the
fertility.
fertility with her fibroid. I have to say, I didn't even know what a fibroid was, but now it's got to be here when I'm. So
Yeah.
basically, she's going to go on her fertility journey, and we're going to see it.
Yeah.
So all
Which
for
is
you,
so
Ubah.
nice. Oh,
All
I
for
know.
you. We want you to, because you got to pass on those gorgeous genes.
Yes.
Someone needs, some child needs those genes.
She's stunning. I
Once
know.
we got to see what Oliver looks like. and
Yeah, I
get
don't
him
think
on
they're
here.
going to bring him in.
But I like that he doesn't
But
want to be on the show.
yeah,
That
he
means
doesn't.
that he's just.
Yeah, he likes his privacy and he's a
Yeah.
businessman and it's okay.
And basically, what I don't know what there was Ubah and Sai where they were over at Ubah's apartment. I loved that like jade green wall in her
Yeah,
apartment. I was like,
yeah.
damn.
Yeah. What were they showing in that scene? It
They were
wasn't
basically
too
saying
much,
that
but
she was basically saying that Erin called.
mhm.
That Erin called her and she was like, "Why are you always singling me out?
Oh,
And you
yeah.
gaslighted me." And she said, "Well, usually it's me that's the one that doesn't understand things and the one that's
Yes.
sort of being called out."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Raquel, I thought this was funny. Raquel wants to fix things with Erin and Abe because she thinks it's a good couple friends for her and Mel.
Yeah, right.
And their weirdo engagement party, which is going to be like ballroom or like pose, like
Yeah.
are they supposed to come as dominatrix? I was so confused.
I know.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that was basically it, and it was just a quick recap, but I think that is the crux. I think New York is getting a hair better,
Yeah.
and I do like that
little bit.
a little bit, but it's still kind
I'm not
of.
vested in yet with this season.
I'm not either. It's too much bullshit.
Yeah.
It's making up nothing
They're
about
trying
nothing.
to stir up something out of nothing.
And another thing I just want to mention about New York, when you play a prank or let's say lie to your audience, they weren't
Yeah.
lying, but they were playing a prank, you undermine your audience that way. And I think it comes off as there's something cheap about it and there's something so disingenuous about it that it
Yeah.
makes me even more so pull the Heisman, like, makes me want to back away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it
Yes.
just doesn't come off.
Yeah.
You want to see some sort of authenticity. The authenticity of Erin sharing her story, seeing her with her dad.
Yes.
That is automatically going to draw people in because it's real.
Yes.
All this other shit,
Yeah. Nah.
it's just filler.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
I know. I think it's just showing that they're struggling right now. Like Erin probably saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to struggle up a story.
I don't think Raquel and Mel have more than this season in them. If they have, I just don't think Raquel,
do like her.
I like her, but I just don't think she's made for TV.
No.
She's dynamic like a Bose, but Bose is made for television.
Bose is made for television. Absolutely.
Raquel is just not.
Even newbie Bronwyn made for television.
Yeah.
She's a great newbie too.
Yeah.
But Raquel being the newbie.
She's just, there's a disconnect there somewhere. I'm just not getting it.
Other than her friendship with Jenna, she didn't really know any of the other ladies.
And then
you can sense it. I
Right.
don't know.
You see that it's just what it is. All right. Well, I guess we are done wrapping up OC. Thanks for the season, OC. And
thank you, OC.
See if New York jumps out at us and something bigger and better and stronger happens next week.
Maybe.
No more leaky pigeon stuff.
Yeah, please.
Come on.
Get rid of the pigeons.
All right, everybody. We're out from the ladies' room. From the ladies' room. No, we're not in the bathroom. We're the ladies in the living room. We're out from the living room. We would never do a show from the bathroom.
The ladies in the living room.
Not the ladies in the bathroom.
Not the ladies in the bathroom.
Say goodnight, Kristen.
Good night, Kristen.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.